Welcome to the Strategic Cybersecurity channel brought to you by NKFP. If you're new to this channel, thanks for turning in. We are glad to have you. Today, I'm super pumped, I'm super excited to share with you the third episode of that series that we started 2 days ago, that is related to the evolution of the CISO job over the past 20 years. The first generation, today we're going to dive in on the third generation of CISO. But before starting with the third generation of CISO, let me just make a quick recap on the first two generations. The first generation of CISO, beginning of year 2000, I can call them the technical firefighters, right? Basically, security engineers installing firewalls, IDS, IPS, centralized antivirus solution. They implement the technical foundation that we are still using today. This is the first generation of CISO. They have no visibilities. They were buried under the CIO, and they were using their bread and butter were managing, coordinating security projects. Most of the time, those security projects were not aligned with the business goal of organization, and sometimes we have conflict with the CIO because the CIO, they are following the 5 nines concept. The 5 nines is all about availabilities. The CIO, the crucial KPI for CEO is just availability within the organization. This is the first generation. The second generation, as we mentioned, I can resume that by one word, the compliance-driven CISO. Basically, when on different vertical markets, there were high regulation. When they become more regulated, the security strategy, that was a good thing because the first generation doesn't have a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy. The second generation come with a security strategy, but the control, the core of the cybersecurity strategy was driven by external factors. Those external factors are the control recommended by different frameworks. Since then, we don't have an alignment with the business goal of the organization, but many of those CISOs, they're going to think that they are aligned to the business organization, but that is not really the case. And guess what? They have two critical drawbacks. The first one, they are still viewed as a cost center, right? And the second one, they don't secure enough money for the security budget, right? Because they don't speak business language most of the time. And they're still in the back office. With the new threat landscape, with the sophistication of attacks, now we have a malware economy where even script kiddie can rent a platform to harm an organization. All these factors have generated a very, very important mindset paradigm. We need a new generation of CISOs. This is where we're going to talk about the third generation of CISOs, right? That is the main focus of today. The third generation of CISO are the one, they are responsible for laying out the cybersecurity of an organization. They are basically full-fledged executive, and they will be viewed nowadays as a strategic business partner that is going to that is going to be viewed, that is going to have the cybersecurity is going to be viewed as a business enabler for the organization. They will take all the technical acumen and the business acumen to be like a marriage counselor between executive and the security team. And they will understand the organization from an holistic view. They can define how the reason that the organization exists, the key differentiator with the competitor, the critical assets. They can understand the profit, what is the service that are driving revenue. So they will identify the critical asset for the service that are driving revenue for the organization. And this is going to be the main focus for the beginning, right? And they are going to lay out a foundation that is going to assume that organization is going to be breached. And once you assume that you're going to be breached, you are going to have in mind that the key thing is earlier detection and controlling the damage, right? Early detection and controlling the damage. And you will be viewed, you are going to share critical metric. You can measure the performance of your security strategy and share it with the board of directors. This is a critical shift because now the third generation of CISO are going to bring the CISO function from the back office to the front office. Different shift, right? From the first two generations. This is an example. This is just a quick insight of this third generation of CISO. And let me be clear before wrapping up. The first generation were technical firefighters. The second generation, compliance-driven CISO. And the third generation will be a strategic business partner. The cybersecurity strategy that is going to be laid out by the third generation of CISO are going to enable the business to grow. And the CISO will no longer view as a cost center, but as a profit center, because guess what? When cybersecurity will be involved in all the projects, the company is going to make money, right? It's going to increase revenue. And if the company is going to increase the revenue, we can take a percentage of the margin that is generated to secure the budget for our cybersecurity budget, right? Until the next episode, thanks for watching. We were super pumped to share this insight about the evolution of the CISO for the past 20 years. I think it was important for me to highlight this evolution. It's very important because, as we see in the coming videos, you have to understand how a job role evolved over the year, how the threat landscape evolved over the year, how the critical asset of an organization evolved over the year. Because guess what? In cybersecurity, you are tied to geopolitics. You are tied to. It's not only about it's not only about cybersecurity. You have external factors that you have also to take into consideration to lay out a robust cybersecurity foundation for your organization. Thanks for watching and stay tuned. Bye.